I still remember when the Nintendo fandom was excited about this brand new IP back in 2015. By the time the second game came out 2 years later, this franchise had become popular in the world of esports. Now here we are 7 years later, and this IP about squid kids blasting each other with ink now has a trilogy. It's Splatoon 3 for the Nintendo Switch. Splatoon 3 carries on the concept of the first two. Team-based multiplayer shootouts where the bullets are ink, and regardless of the mode you're playing, you're usually trying to take more territory than the other team. So what I want to see is where this game improves upon or at least changes things from the previous entries. Its visual and audio presentation is about the same as Splatoon 2, showing us a bright, colorful summer-themed world rendered in 1080p when docked and 720p when portable and running at 60 FPS. The main thing I did notice was the size of the hub world. It's actually a lot bigger this time with more levels and little corners for other players to just hang out and throw up their random Miiverse-like posts. The music, sound effects, and voice blurbs all sound the same as before, which is perhaps for the best with a game like this. Voice acting from these creatures might be more creepy than charming. All the modes of online multiplayer return for the first two games, with Turf War of course being the main mode. While some arenas are new for Splatoon 3, the majority of them are just returners from 1 and 2, which is a bit disappointing. The core mechanics have been maintained to keep the fast-paced, competitive, fun feel of Splatoon with a lot of returning weapons, clothes you can buy with in-game currency that improves certain stats and abilities, plus a few new weapons. While the paintbrush and roller may be more effective at covering more ground fast, my go-to set was always the Splat Dualies with the Crab Tank special move. I often used that set to swim through my team's ink towards the other team and play the team assassin. It was my way of having fun with this fiercely competitive team-based game. Now, although online multiplayer maps still work on a scheduled rotation design, which sucks as much now as it always has, Nintendo did make 2 improvements to what happens in between each match. Finally, you have the option to choose a different weapon set after a match before you set yourself as ready for the next one. Also, while you wait for a match to start, there's this training space you can run around and practice in. It's a great way to get reacquainted with a different weapon set, and it's nice to have something to do while the next match is setting up. Local wireless multiplayer is back as well, but Nintendo still refused to include any form of split screen. I'm actually more disappointed about this now than I was in Splatoon 2. It would be a lot of fun to be able to play this with friends on the same Switch, or if you're alone with no internet access, bots would be a great way to get some more real-world practice. But Nintendo continues to ignore it, which makes me think Nintendo is putting too much thought into this game being a star of esports, and not enough thought into how much fun it can be offline. This goes for the returning Salmon Run as well. Like the competitive multiplayer, the core mechanics here make it a really fun mode. It still has that same co-op team play against wave-based monsters that games like Call of Duty Zombies have. It was just as much fun here to work with 3 teammates against these invasive zombie fish and take on the occasional epic boss battle. But again, while online and local wireless are both offered, there's no split screen or offline single player. Nintendo once again ignoring a form of multiplayer they perfected in the 90s, but Salmon Run does make one big improvement. Nintendo ditched the scheduled gameplay of this mode where you could only play it when Grisco is hiring. So instead, you can access this mode and play a match 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Thank you for fixing that mistake, Nintendo.
Good work, Mac.
Thankfully, offline gameplay wasn't completely ignored though, since the single-player campaign returned as well. The story of it actually took more twists and turns than I was expecting, with one element being this all-new hub world that's covered in this pink and purple pollution goop similar to Super Mario Sunshine. To get rid of these goop piles, you have to throw your new little salmonid friend at it after feeding him salmon eggs found in each level. First of all, this creates a great sense of progression, as finishing each level gives you the means to clear more of a path for you to reach the rest of the levels. Secondly, it's kind of amusing to have this little salmonid friend. He's pretty useful in the levels too, if only for beating up tougher enemies to give you an opportunity to blast them away. The levels themselves are just as creative as the previous games, especially the ones designed around a special ability, like this one where you jump from wall to wall like Spider-Man. There are exciting levels to play through that all last about 2 to 5 minutes, which makes them even better for on-the-go gaming. It's enough to make me say that I hope they keep single-player going if they ever make a Splatoon 4. This game also adds another offline mode called Table Turf Battles. Like its name implies, this is a form of turf war where you instead play on a board using a deck of cards. You have to arrange and use your cards effectively to put as much of your color on the board as you can. It's an interesting, different take on the core Splatoon design, but it didn't hold my attention longer than 3 matches. I'm more wondering just why they bothered adding it. Again, it can be a fun distraction, but I play these games to use the different weapons. Some strategy fans will like this mode, but most of you will probably find it meh. What was really meh though was the lockers. They only exist to put bonus stuff in there that you buy from shops, which can be nice to see yours and lockers from other people, but otherwise this whole thing feels like a pointless addition. Splatoon 3 has a lot to it that makes it a good game. but I'm honestly disappointed by how similar it is to the first two. The small changes are nice, but they still fail to add things that would make Splatoon amazing. So if anything, this feels less like a sequel and more like Splatoon 2 with some patches and DLC. If you're a big fan of Splatoon already, I'm sure you're going to buy this anyway if you haven't already. As for me, I'm sending my rented copy back and not buying it. Well, that's my review of Splatoon 3 for the Nintendo Switch. To help me produce more videos like this, please support my Patreon page. Special thanks to my current patrons here. Remember that supporting my Patreon gets your name in the credits and access to my flagship videos a full day early. Also check out my previous reviews of the original Splatoon for the Wii U and Splatoon 2 for the Switch. See you all next time!